reconnect because it takes a while. Hey, welcome to Grit Gym. We have Joanne Salemink with us today. Joanne is she's got the tat. She's been in Grit Gym for a little while. She was here on not day one, not exactly on day one, but basically on day one before.
Soon after.
Like basically we were still trying to get our shit together.
Oh, you have it together.
Ah, that's what everybody thought. But Joanne's been a long time. She's made a very. All right, whoa, and we're back. I don't really remember, and we're back. It's the way the cookie comes. I don't really remember where we were before, but
you were saying how wonderful I am.
That's pretty easy.
Yeah.
How long should I go? We only have a half an hour.
We should probably just skip right ahead.
Skip ahead of the wonderfulness. Just assume that you're.
Yeah, just assume that I wanted.
Yeah. Well, what did you think when the the Wonder Woman movie came out and they accidentally, they couldn't get the real Wonder Woman.
They couldn't get me.
And so they cast as Gal Gadot. And were you disappointed, or were you like, it's probably best that I don't know?
I think it's best. I like to keep my secret identity on the down low. I think she did a wonderful job portraying me.
Yeah. But she didn't have any kids.
That we know of.
Real Wonder Women, like all moms. Like I say this, I've said this on the show before, but like the most fun people to train and to work with are the moms, and I think it's because not only did they go through childbirth, where they pushed a football-sized object out of a space the size of your nostril, but then they also put up with this little asshole for 3 years, and then he just turned into, they turned into a bigger asshole. And then they turn into a teenager, which is a totally different scenario where, I don't know what you even call that. I think you just call it a teenager.
Yeah. And
then somehow you love them so much through all of that crap, and then they leave.
Thank you.
So they're all, yeah.
That brought the mood down.
Yeah, right. But from a parenting standpoint, you do all that stuff is kind of interesting. But I think it creates a really, really tough individual that you went through all these years of not killing your children, and then you go into work out and you're just a beast.
Could be.
A beast in a positive way.
You learn to put up with a lot of stuff. To just you have to learn to let things go.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise
You mean in the parenting department?
Yeah, and so then that kind of carries over to everything else.
Is that like a pick your battles thing?
Yes, very much so.
So where do you draw the line? Now we kind of jumped right into a parenting thing there, didn't we? I didn't mean to do that, but cool.
Well, it's like everything else. Will this matter to me in 6 months? Will it matter a year from now? Are they going to go to jail? If they're going to go to jail, you stop it right then and there.
I think that's what my parents thought of me. They're like, this kid's going to jail. Like there was a couple of times where I really did do a few things that.
Then you have to come down a little harder. If it's not that big of a deal, you just let it go.
Well, yeah. I thought it just wasn't that big of a deal. I was like, what's the problem? I don't get this. And they were like, Adam, you could go to jail. Like, this is bad. And I was like, what are you talking about? You're crazy.
That's it. The kids don't always understand all the ramifications.
Yeah. I had no idea. What were the most ornery things? So let's start with the fun one. The most ornery, funny thing that Gabby or Max did.
Ornery, funny. Oh, goodness. Probably things I can't share out loud. But...
Oh, like they poop their pants?
No.
In a really inopportune moment?
No. Gabby is they both are just really snarky, really very, very dry sense of humor. And if you don't know that, sometimes what they say comes off as really
rude.
A little
I think I know exactly what you mean there. I'm not saying that about your kids.
And I have no idea where they get it.
Because I'm really dry too.
Yeah.
And you could probably blame Gabby on me if you really want to.
Okay.
On her dry sense of humor if you want.
Oh no, I'm afraid it was well established.
I think so too. She is quite the little shithead.
Yep.
And I mean that with the greatest amount.
I know.
A compliment. That's a compliment in my world. But what's one of the funniest? My nephew peed off the top of the monkey bars at recess. That's beyond ornery. That's just pretty naughty little boy.
No, they haven't really done anything like that. Gabby and Mac's story. When they were little, there was a 3-week stretch that I was in the emergency room 3 times. I took Gabby in and Max and my mom.
Oh, okay.
But so Max was in the middle, I think. Gabby had broken her arm and she had her cast on, and Max, we were in, he cut his chin, and we were in Iowa City, or we were in Coralville, and I was trying to get from Coralville to Mercy Hospital, and we were going the back roads, and Gabby didn't know where we were, you know.
And all of it looks the same if you're going back through that. It really does.
And she looks at me, you don't know where you're going. You're 4. What do you mean I don't know where I'm going?
She was 4 going on 45.
Yeah, pretty much so.
Yeah.
So that was,
and
Max is just...
just bleeding. She just
bleeding. Yeah.
You don't know where
and he
you're
was
going.
pretty brave. You know,
Oh, that's good. Cool.
he's a brave kid.
So you just had to switch gears a little bit and go back to the fitness stuff. You just had a pretty significant birthday, and how did you celebrate it?
I celebrated my 52nd birthday by doing 52 pull-ups, chin-ups.
That's your chin-ups.
Because why wouldn't you? I know how to party.
That's who you're listening to right now. You're listening to the person that
We thought it would be a good idea.
to go through her whole workout, and then at the end go, oh, I'm gonna stick around and do 52 chin-ups. And I was like, why? What? She's like, well, it's my birthday. And I'm like, oh my god.
It seemed like a good idea at the time. Upon further reflection.
When did it become the realization? Like, when did it set in? That was it like on rep 2 that it wasn't a good idea, or was it on rep 15?
It wasn't until
35.
It wasn't until the end of my workout. I thought it was a leg day, and it was mostly a leg day. But then the last 2 exercises were heavy on the arms. I was like, oh, gee, this is going to suck badly.
And did it suck badly?
No, well, no.
Because it looked like you just breathed right through.
There are things I wish would have gone better. I wish I could have done more body weight chin-ups and more.
Didn't you do 3?
6.
Oh yeah, you did 6. You did 3, and then you took a break, and then you did 3. Right? Yeah.
And
sorry, I undercut you.
But on the other hand, I didn't use the black band, the heaviest band. At
Well, that's
all.
good. Yeah.
I did the last 26 with the gray.
And for the people who watch this who aren't a great gym, we don't put it around the foot; we put it around the knee. So, like the gray band around the knee is like the green or the orange band around the foot, depending on how tall you are. So like it's like some legit pulling around there.
Yeah, it went better than you know.
How your
in
arms
some
feel?
ways,
How your arms feel today?
I wouldn't want to have to do another.
Yeah, I'm surprised you could get that shirt over your bicep.
I know. I kind of had to stretch it a little.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, but yeah. So you're 52 now.
Yeah.
How's 52 in?
52 in one day.
52 versus 42.
Actually, probably better because
All right.
I think I was trying to figure out. I think I've been coming here for about 6 years.
Yeah.
And
We're 7 years old this month.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's really
kind of
good.
nuts.
I am definitely in better shape than I was at 42.
Good.
And I think I have more energy. I think coming to the gym, working out has been a tremendously positive experience. A few more adjectives in there.
Well, yeah, because you got to push through all the. Like, I don't care how much you say you love exercise. There's some stuff that sucks. It just like no.
Oh, yes, there is.
You know, like what is yours? Yours.
Turkish Skittles.
I was gonna say Turkish Skittles first. Any of the anti-rotation exercises.
Yeah.
You don't seem to mind the sled too much.
No, that's kind of fun.
Lunges are mine. I just
reverse lunges are awful. That was one of my questions for Adam.
Oh yeah. What's the question?
Why do reverse lunges suck so badly?
Why do they suck so bad? For you or for just people in general?
It's just for me. Darn! I was hoping they sucked for everybody. I don't know.
Well, there's certain things about like you and your hip that, especially with your knee, that would kind of make it a little bit on the more suckier side of exercise, I guess. But they're a compound exercise, so you're using every muscle in your body, and we typically do it in goblet or one arm or one kettlebell rack, right? So when one kettlebell rack, you're getting pulled over to this side, so this side's having to really tighten up, and then your hip on actually this opposite side, because that's what's going to do the work, is having to do a ton of work because you're not gonna, so you don't fall over. And so you're using every muscle that you possibly have, and these big muscles that take a lot of energy to move around, and you're moving your whole body, and then you're adding weight to your whole body, and then you're on one leg, and then so you're balancing, and there's just a lot of moving parts and a lot of energy that it takes to do that.
So I don't feel so bad now.
That's why lunges suck. Yeah. And while I don't know about you, but like I have a hard time turning my head off from the I'm going to be so sore tomorrow.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I can do like 5 lunges or 100 lunges. I'm going to be sore.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that for you, but
Yep.
yeah, it's pretty much how it goes. So that was one of your questions?
That
Because
was.
Joanne actually wrote questions for me. The writer wrote questions. Weird. Actually, speaking of, do you want to tell them about
Yes, I am.
the writing process?
I have good news, I think.
Cool.
I believe I've written a book, a novel. It's a humorous novel with a little romance and a motorcycle, and it should be out available next month, December.
Yeah.
I'm working on the formatting, which I love to write. I hate computers.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I have a little trouble with that.
I have a little trouble with that. Like, I write much better by hand, but my ideas come at me like a lightning bolt, so it's like, how fast can I actually get this up? And it's much faster if I just crank it out.
That's not a problem. We use OpenOffice, which is free, and screw the man and all that. And it will save as Office, Microsoft Office, but then you have to use a third program to do the formatting for.
Oh, you already lost me. Yeah.
So yeah, it's like translating into a different language, and then translating that into another language, and somewhere along the way, things don't always go right, and it gets a little frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. That sounds awful. Like, people think that I'm really techie because I know how to.
I thought so. You shouldn't have said anything. Man,
I'm not at all.
This is amazing. How do you?
If no, you just push a button and you go.
Cool. It is. Things you learn.
But you finished one book. What was it like to finish a book? Was it like, how much of it is? I guess what I'm saying there is like, how much of it is I have to leave well enough alone, and how much of it is like I just can't wait to dig back in there and switch things around and play around with my characters, and how much is it like I have to cut my relationship with the characters that I created?
Ooh. I'd say 60-40.
Which? There's actually 3 things going on there.
There is.
So the writer started to talk numbers.
So it's going to add up to 138.
Oh boy. 138%
Uh,
of it is bullshit.
Yes. The story is done. The first story is done.
Yeah.
But I have these ideas. They keep talking to me. She's crazy.
They talk to me.
They talk to me.
The different voices in my head.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I know. And so they're telling me other stories. So I have outlines and notes and stuff for book 2, but I don't feel like I can really develop those until I get book 1 done and complete and everything.
That makes sense.
And so then I went back and I edited, and then I have gotten to that point where as I'm formatting, then you have to read through it again to make sure you don't have goofy things going on, and you read
What kind of goofy
this
things?
one word. Like I didn't have a hard return at the end of a paragraph. I don't know why not.
So what's a hard return? Should I know this?
Just when you hit return.
Oh, okay.
Instead of it just breaking naturally, you have to hit return. And I don't know why it disappeared. But so you have 3 words spread across the entire page.
And it wasn't for like the artistic experience?
No, it was just, why is this happening? And somebody knows more about it than me. Probably could have solved it quicker, but it took me like 3 minutes. Oh, I have to hit return. I'm ready. I'm excited. I went ahead and I developed a couple of stories for the second book, and I'm so excited. It's going to be so much fun. These stories are just really, really great.
Yeah.
Really, really fun. And so I can't wait to get this first one done and completely finished.
Because that's what I find is that the last 20 yards of the...
Oh, it's not 20 yards, it's 200 miles.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
what I
an
mean.
optical, it's like you're at the top of a hill. Oh, I just have to go there, but you go and around and up.
Yeah, because there's so much that you can switch around. The editor told me that I have 300 pages and I got to get it to a healthy weight. I'm like, what's a healthy weight? And they're like trying to talk my language, like as if I talk like that. But I go, what's a healthy weight? And they go 200 pages. I'm like, you want me to cut 100 pages out? Like, what? That's crazy talk. Like, I was thinking like you were gonna say like 10 pages. No, like 100 pages.
They talk about you have to kill your children.
Yeah.
That's really gruesome, but
No.
when you write it,
that's basically what it felt like.
really
Feels like. Yeah.
Or it's like when you get 3/4 the way through your workout. yeah, I'm almost done. And then you look and you realize that you have
The two
reverse crunches and
Turkish get-ups and reverse lunges and something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It never ends.
I can understand that. Sometimes it's like the luck of the draw when there's only 2 sets of that last thing, and you're like,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, and then you go back and you check, just in case. I think I have 3 sets of this, but maybe there's only 2. And you run back and you're like, I have 4, what? How is
Oh my
that
God.
possible?
I think everybody's been there at some point. But, yeah. Oh, one of the questions I'm supposed to ask you, I just looked at my notes. Where do you find all the cool leggings? Because I asked around, and this was Rachel's number 1 question. It was other people's number 1 question. They were like, "Where does she find those pants?"
Actually, Walmart.
No. So you get all.
So they're cheap and they're obnoxiously bright.
Oh yeah, they got stars and stripes and
some
rainbows.
Of them, yeah, some of them come from Kohl's too.
Oh yeah. So just normal places.
Yeah.
You have your eye. You have like an eye for finding these crazy things, or do you think that other people are like, I couldn't wear that?
That's a good. They're like, oh my God, these are ugly. Whew, throw them away. I was shopping with Gabby, and I said, oh, I have those, and I have those. And
What'd she
said,
say?
of course you do.
This is her daughter, by the way. Or what?
Yep, the little princess.
She's not 20 years old yet.
Not yet. Soon.
How old is she?
She's 19.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
I know. Okay, so Gabby, poor, she's like, they went to a concert out in Des Moines Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I don't know, so she came down yesterday, very sweet, and allowed me to take her out for lunch for my birthday.
Allowed you to take your daughter out for lunch for your birthday. Because it's really your birthday too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so we're driving along, and just out of the blue, she said, so how much can you deadlift?
Oh, okay.
I said, well, because I had trap bar deadlifts Monday, and it was over 200, and it was 215, 225, whatever. It was on a plate, but there were 6 reps, so I was pretty
pumped.
And she said, yeah, we were standing in line talking about something, about lifting weights, and she said, yeah, my mom can lift over 200 pounds, and she's 50.
And she's 50.
I thought, well, that made me kind of feel good. Yeah.
This is kind of weird to say, but
50-year-old can do that, apparently.
But I've said that exact same thing.
About Janet.
About Janet.
It's awesome.
Actually,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've been able to, I said that to this group that I was working with. They were like 20 years younger than her. And I just threw that out there. I was like, guys, like seriously, like my 59-year-old mom, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, at first they were like, what? And I don't think they believed me. You know, like, well, here's a video. That's her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people don't believe me that that's my mom, actually, because she's just like a dinky little thing.
She is a tiny little.
She's a tiny little lady. A lot of power. Don't get in Janet's way.
No, I was trying to think what word did. You can just tell, she just has that about her.
Yeah, she should have.
She is determined.
Yeah, like her like tenacity or like whatever you want to call it, like that little thing, like temperament. Yeah. Like I have the exact same one, and I think like I attribute all of my success on a football field to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's super nice. She's wonderful. She whipped my ass. but you just know that, by God, she's going to get things done. And I love the story that you tell about her that she cut her. She was making dinner. There's going to be a family dinner.
Oh yeah.
And she cut her.
We had like a family. Yeah, we had a family. I don't know what to call it. She had people coming over. She had like 30 people coming over to her house, and she's cooking. And it was 3 hours before they came, and she sliced her finger like off. And she goes to Maggie, who is also a nurse, and she goes, "Do you think I need stitches?" And I think she was just kind of looking for like Maggie to be like, "Nah," you know. She just, and Maggie goes, "Yeah, I think you need stitches." Maggie's a very logical person, and Janet goes, "I have people coming in 3 hours. I don't have time. I don't have time for stitches." And so Maggie and I have made that just the biggest joke that we're like, Janet doesn't have time to bleed.
Yeah.
And then we started switching around all the Chuck Norris jokes to Janet jokes.
Oh,
like Janet doesn't do push-ups. Janet pushes the world. Or when Janet does push-ups, she doesn't push herself away from the earth. She pushes the earth away from herself.
That's right.
You know, stuff like that, just to be stupid. But yeah. But then But then this year, when I cracked my head open in here, were you in here that night?
No.
Okay,
No.
so I cracked my head open, like gouging blood dripping down my face, having to, like holding a paper towel on it, and nobody even knew that I did it for a while. And then, so she looks at it and she goes, "You gotta go get stitches." And I was like, "I got a class to teach. I don't have time to go get stitches." And so she goes, "Do your class. I'm gonna go get a suture kit. I'll come back, stitch you up." So,
Oh my gosh.
So I teach class and teach class. She goes get a suture kit. She comes back, stitches me up in the bathroom. And while she's doing it, she starts making the jokes that Maggie and I had made about her, about the yeah. I was like, she's like, "This is not so funny, baby." So it was, yeah, I know. So came back to bite me in the ass, kind of. Yeah. And it's like one of those moments where you figure out that you're a carbon copy of your parents, and you're like, "Well, shit."
Well, how'd that happen?
But yeah, I mean, you've come a long way in the fitness world.
Yeah.
You've got that same, like, you're just gonna keep plowing, keep making things better, keep going. What was some of the different makers? Like, what were some of the realizations along the way for you? Like, or was it just a slow progression too?
I think it was more things happened before I even realized it.
Like what?
Well, I don't know.
Because I watched it, and I remember there's like a 2-year time frame where you're just getting a little bit stronger. Not a lot of like, there's not really a big muscle gain or fat loss, or just stronger, getting a little bit better at stuff. And I'm hearing good feedback. I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden, in like a 6-month time frame, boom, everything changed. Like huge amounts of fat loss, tons of strength gained. Like it was all of a sudden you're running everywhere. Like what was because it almost seemed like you just made a decision.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I did, because I need to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it was just those little incremental gains that add up.
Yeah.
You know, I think back to when I did a trap bar deadlift at 145. And at the time, I weighed more than 145.
Yeah.
So, oh, this is awesome. This is so cool. And then it was like 175. And then...
I think you've done 240.
190.
I think you've done 245 before.
No.
Or maybe a calculated max of 245.
Exactly. I think it was like 215 or 225, I think is the max. But, yeah. Then somewhere in there, I lost weight and I was still gaining strength, and I realized I'm lifting now what I used to weigh, and lifting my body weight was nothing.
Yeah.
And that was incredible. That was awesome.
That's like a credence to like the I think some of the mindset stuff that goes into strength training, or that comes out of it. It's like you have to have a certain amount of mindset to go into strength training and be like, I'm going to do this. And then there's a certain amount that like you just end up learning while you go. Like I can do this. Well, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I think anyway. I don't know if it's that way for you, but that's how lifting is for me.
Yeah. And there's a lot of I'm always tempted to ask you if there is there a max out there? Is there somewhere that I'm going to get to that I can't lift anymore, but I don't want to know?
Yeah.
I don't want to know, because we joke all the time, me being an English major and a writer, my math skills are crap.
Yeah, well, you do make a certain face when you're doing math. I can see it. All the way across the gym, like longest point to longest point.
She's trying to add.
There's a math equation going on up there, and she lost.
Yeah. But I don't really know. Except with the deadlift, and I can relate that to my body weight. Most of the time, I'm lifting whatever, and it doesn't click in my mind what that might actually be. Yeah. And then you throw in kilograms, and I have no clue now what I'm talking about.
They're basically.
It's one of these round things.
It's like half as much as pounds.
Yeah.
So
see, I would go the other way.
For like
if it's 4 kilograms, that's really 8 pounds.
8.8, yeah.
Okay.
So like 16 kilograms is pretty close to 35. It'd be 16 times 2 would be 32 plus 3.2, because it's 2.2. Oh. So 35.2 pounds.
That's my English major. But there's probably English majors out there right now. They're like, oh,
do you remember But do you remember what you got in the ACTs? Because I think everybody kind of has their strengths. So like when it came to the ACTs, I got like a 13 or a 12 or something crazy low on the reading and writing portions. But when it came to the science and reasoning or whatever it was, it was like 32 or 33. It was like these drastic differences. So like me doing math in my head and you doing math in your head, two different strengths or whatever you want to call it. But I do think there is, but to answer your question, like I do think there is a point where there's obviously a point where the body's going to start getting stronger and you're going to, where you're going to kind of reach that peak and you just have to keep on finding different strategies to go up and up and up. Or in the way that we look at it in here, let's start looking at other quantifiable goals, like how fast we can move a bar, or how did we move the bar? Because at some point, is it even beneficial to be, do you really need to be able to squat 800 pounds?
I don't know.
I mean, it might be kind of cool.
Yeah. Do you
but
really need to do 52
but do you really need to do it? Probably not. But to be able to, but if you can't squat your body weight, I think you got a problem. Yeah. If you can't deadlift your body weight, I think you got a big problem. That's the giveaway. You need a certain amount of strength. We need a certain amount of power. We need a certain amount of speed, and you got to keep working on that as you go along. So that's kind of like the fall under the process stuff. Yeah. Cool.
I like that.
What other questions did you have? I'm very curious.
Well, then I have to decide which one is
Which ones are the priorities?
Yeah. Okay, chains. Why chains? I was watching one of your videos last night.
Oh, why use chains?
Yeah, and you've told me this before, but I thought,
It's the same thing as why we would use the one plate underneath the bar. So it's called accommodative resistance. The bar gets heavier as you go up. Because your strength arc, we're actually going to talk about this with Nick Tuminello. He's going to be on the show, I think, next Wednesday, maybe Friday, I don't remember. But like a block press on a bench press, so you're shortening the reps so you can do a little bit more weight, so you can overload that tricep a little bit more, or like the low box step up where you're not stepping up high, so you can use a ton more weight, or the band press down, the band tricep extension, the band gets heavier as you go, so at the top it's really light where you're weak, and at the bottom it's really strong where you're stronger.
okay.
So the top 6 inches of that deadlift are going to weigh, so like if you have 135 pounds on the bar and you have 4 chains, and our chains each weigh 20 pounds, at the bottom you might be pulling, 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds off the floor, so 155 off the floor. But at the top, you're going to be doing 20, 20, 20, 20. It'd be 80 plus 135, so you're pulling 215. So at the top it'd be 215, but at the bottom it's 155.
Okay, see, I thought it was the other way around. Good
Yeah,
to know.
crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Was that, I don't know if that was an interesting...
I thought it was.
What other questions do you
You're
have?
on luck, because I thought it was.
Rach says she loves the chains.
I like the sound they make.
They do. They sound awesome.
It does. It makes
Yeah.
you.
Wait till you get to the point where you can do push-ups with the chain.
I
Or you have?
no. I want to do that, and then that just sounds so nerdy.
Why?
I can't wait to do the pull. I can't wait to do a push-up with chains or with a bar.
That does not sound nerdy at all. Not even a little bit.
Well, that's
That
to
sounds-
you.
that sounds
But there are people.
There are people out there that are like,
Yeah.
what is the matter with you? But there's also people out there that are saying, what is the matter with you for doing 52 chin-ups on your 52nd birthday?
That's true.
Psycho City.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah. What else you got on here?
Okay. Stretching versus rolling, is one better before, one better after? Is one better than the other? Or they do two different things?
They do. It's two different things. So, but I mean, stretching can be a fascial thing. Stretching is a big topic in itself. Rolling's actually pretty simple, and it's something that science hasn't really explained yet. So if you ever hear on the internet or a personal trainer or a doctor or anybody talking about how it's scientific, there's absolutely no scientific backing behind foam rope. There's no scientific reasoning behind rolling or massage. Kind of nuts, huh? But we can still measure it down to the cellular level, which is kind of interesting, but the adhesion actually happens at the cellular level. Anyway, I'm way too in depth in this. But basically what you're doing, you're putting pressure on a muscle, and all this really cool stuff happens. The muscle will kind of just, the fascial system kind of trusts you more, so it'll let you go into a further range of motion than you would have before, and it kind of works on pushing fluid around. So you get a little bit, like when you warm up, what are you doing? You're just pushing fluid around. You know, when we need to recover, what are you doing? You're pushing fluid around. So to get your body to work, what do you need? You need to push fluid around. Fluid in terms of lymph and blood. You have to have that to happen, otherwise you're not going to go for it. And whereas stretching, you're just putting a little tension on the muscle. If you're doing dynamic stretching, there's a few different ways that you can stretch. Most people think of static stretching, where you're just holding it for about 50 seconds. And really all you're doing there is teaching the body how to tolerate the stretch. It doesn't really do anything. I still think it's worthy because the body it lets the body relax, kind of creates like a diversion between, or a difference between workout and real life. You know, it kind of feels good. Anything that feels good after your workout, I think is probably a good idea. It just kind of lets you ease out. But yeah, you wouldn't want to do static stretching before you work out. For most people, you would want to, a foam roll is good before or after. Most stretching is good before or after. Kind of depends on the person and the situation. I definitely think it's really, the most important thing about stretching is knowing what not to stretch, though. That went all over the place, didn't it?
That was good.
What else you got? I'll try to be faster.
Okay, this is one that I was, because I was kind of on a roll there for a while. And then I feel like I fell off the wagon and the wagon ran over me. And I'm really working hard to get back into it.
Yeah.
But I was eating more for muscle gain. Well, and I've heard you talk about this. I was eating more for muscle gain than for weight loss.
Yeah.
So what is the difference?
Between
eating for muscle gain versus eating for weight loss? Is
So-
it just amount, or is it difference in eating, like protein? I was really concentrating on eating protein.
Sure. Well, there's a few things. So if you want to gain muscle, you have to eat a caloric, you have to eat above your caloric needs. So if you want to lose fat, you have to, so in just terms of weight gain and weight loss, if you eat less calories, you're going to have weight loss. If you eat more calories than your body needs, you're going to have weight gain. If you're lifting, then you're more likely for that gain to be muscle. And if you're not lifting and just doing cardio, you're more likely that that'll be fat. And the same goes for the other way. If you're lifting, you'll keep the muscle. If not, your body doesn't tap into your fat first, it taps into your muscle first. So that's the weight gain. Yeah. But there is a huge misconception out there that if you eat only protein, that your body will hold on to more muscle tissue when you're losing fat, and that's not the case. Your body actually taps into the muscle tissue first, before your fat, to satiate itself, or to deal with your needs. Like, people don't look at your muscle as stored energy, but it is. It's just like fat. You have glycogen in your body that's just storage of carbohydrates. You have fat in your body that's just storage of energy. That's what this is. You know, whether it's around your organs, or it's on your stomach, or it's in your arm. Like, people don't think of your bicep as being food for your body. That's all it is stored energy that your body just happens to be more efficient with and uses. Yeah. So if you were stuck on a deserted island and you got to choose whether you were a bodybuilder that's all built up or a big fat guy, you would always pick being the bodybuilder.
Okay. It's like Mr. Science. We can go on the road.
Oh man.
But so, as a segue, so eating my scrambled egg with spinach for breakfast is better than my waffle.
Yeah.
Which then, so can you explain the carb tolerance thing again?
Oh, you
some
mean
people, some body types tolerate carbs.
So you are more towards somewhere between ectomorph and mesomorph, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of more like right mesomorph category. Rachel would be strong ectomorph side. Cindy, who works out here, she would be very far towards the endomorph side. Endomorph, and there's no like good or bad here. It's just so endomorphs are going to respond very well to a low carbohydrate, high protein diet. And
So they can eat bacon.
ectomorphs are the exact and ectomorphs are the exact opposite. Ectomorphs are gonna put up with carbs very, very well, and the mesomorphs kind of just have to be right in between. But for anybody, research is repeatedly proving that the heavy carbohydrate meals first thing in the morning are not good for muscle gain or fat loss.
Darn.
I know. Believe me, this is like coming from a guy that like just think that breakfast food basically cures everything. So, yeah, I'm with you. I know. Just have your waffle later.
I won't tell you all my secrets. What?
What's this say? It's easier to go off the ground. Oh, she's talking about the chains. It's easier to go off the ground. Yeah, because it's lighter
At the
off
bottom,
the ground.
okay.
Do you have any more brain busters?
Let's see.
We'll just
okay.
do one more, and then we'll do a little send off.
I'm looking forward to the nutrition class,
Oh yeah.
and I'm thinking about what I learned. As I said, I fell off the wagon. And I know that you had said that our first goal was to make sure that you're drinking enough water.
Yeah, that's usually what I use because it's really simple. Really, it's attainable.
And so I'm working on doing that again. But so let's say, just for kicks and giggles, that I finally got that back in line again. What would step number 2 be?
Step number 2, well, just a step back, like being ridiculously hydrated all the time isn't necessarily the goal. The first goal is just to create a lifestyle change, just to break the pattern somehow, just to create like, I can change something very easy. So what we do now is just 1/8 of your body weight in ounces of water before 8 a.m. in the morning. So you just get up, chug it, and that's like, okay, I hit my target. The next one would just be more dependent on the person, but for most people, I think adding versus subtracting is much easier. So if you add a couple vegetables to your diet, that's healthy, it's easy, and eating those before you eat anything else in your supper, lunch, breakfast, whatever, it's very attainable. Everybody can do that. Or you could do the same thing with fish oil probiotic and vitamin D. Like you're gonna have these every day. So you just want to create things that you can do, you're gonna be successful with, you can commit to these. They're not like, I gotta follow these 10 rules. That's for sure gonna be a problem. I just gotta follow this one thing. But yeah, those are the next 2 that I usually go to. Okay. Either add a couple vegetables, or if I think there's a person that has a lot of trouble, I just make it really simple. Open this bottle and take this fish oil capsule. Easy. Good. Yeah, did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, one of my questions was motivation. Is motivation the thing that has gotten you run over by the wagon, or was it focus, or was it discipline, or
discipline? Probably.
Yeah.
Because I hurt my hip, however.
Yeah.
And I tried to power through it.
Yep.
Because it didn't seem to matter. It didn't seem to make a difference what I did, if I rested it or I didn't rest it. And so I was like, I'm just going to and I think that made it worse.
Those noises made perfect sense.
They did. And I think that made it worse. And then it just got to a point where everything fell apart.
And then weird how you started working on your hip and all of a sudden everything started getting better.
Yeah. So now I just need to start adding stuff back in.
Yeah.
And I can see it's not the first time, but it's so irritating when you are living a healthy lifestyle or healthier than I am now, whatever. You take so much for granted. And the water thing was, all summer I would exercise, and I couldn't remember the last time I had a cramp, like especially doing the glute bridge raise things. It looks just like that too.
Just fighting gravity.
And I always, leg cramps or the glute ham thing, cramp. And I didn't for the longest time. And then all this crap happened and everything, and I quit drinking water, and boom, or being tired or whatever. I'm like, or not feeling good during a workout, not feeling like I can do what I want. Like, well, I shouldn't have that Rice Krispie treat right before I came to the gym. It's so much easier. I can see the cause and effect now, especially when it's not going well. But it's still hard to get back into a positive. Like right now, I don't think my workouts have been as productive, but I haven't been coming to metabolic because I can't sleep at night. And so, or run. I haven't run all summer. Just having that little extra, and that's I know you say that cardio lasts, but if I don't my cardio.
Yeah.
I have no battery for cardio.
There's a range in there, so it'll last like somewhere
30
between.
seconds.
Yeah. But like your slow, steady state stuff, you'll keep that for about a month, plus or minus 10 days.
4 minutes.
So like 2 weeks. So you got 2 or 3 weeks where it's going to start to see diminishing. So you want to one day a week, once every other week, going for a long distance run is a good idea. Unless you got a hip and then you got to get on the bike.
No, but that hurts my knees. So.
Yeah.
I can find an excuse for anything. But.
Great justification.
Yes.
What about your shirt?
I know what I need to do. Oh, I have my just do it. And I do it anyway.
What's it mean to you?
There are days when, like especially in mornings, when I used to go to metabolic at 5:30, I wouldn't necessarily want to get up and say, oh, just do it anyway because you'll feel better if you do it. Or I could have this cupcake, or I could have an apple. Just eat the apple.
Yeah,
it's not worth.
Yeah, do it anyways about making better choices.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily. It's like basically like I use motivation there for a reason. Like I don't think motivation even exists. I think it's bullshit that you make up to get yourself to do something or not. I'm not motivated, so that gives me an out. Or I am motivated, so I'm going hard.
Yeah, if I waited until I was motivated to do anything, I'd never get anything done.
Yeah, you'd never finish your book. Yeah. You might not even have ever been had kids.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, never know.
Just got to do it.
Yeah. If you wait till the perfect time, there never comes a perfect time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Don't say
anything.
that, Rachel. I'm still holding off on this. Like, I'm still like, just a little bit longer.
Then you kind of go, do I really want to be up? I mean, I have enough trouble sleeping at night now.
I don't. I'm out. Bang. 7 seconds. If I had to wait more than 7 seconds while I was like on the pillow, I'd be like, I just can't get to sleep. Yeah. No, I'm out pretty much. Bang.
I hate people like that.
I know other people that hate people like that. Get in line. All right. Any other things you want to leave?
Burn the bird.
Burn the bird. When is it?
Thanksgiving morning.
At what time?
In the morning, 8 o'clock.
8 a.m. Yeah. So what was last year's like?
I couldn't come last year because I was running. I did a run instead.
Yeah, no, I remember now. Because I was really disappointed and I cried a little bit.
I did too.
You cried the whole race.
Well, I could have been.
That was that great, Jim. Are you coming this year?
Yes.
Awesome. Is Gabby coming?
No.
Max?
No.
Scott?
No.
Anybody else? Lori?
I don't know. I haven't asked her.
Wait, I think I asked her. I think she's going to see Brock. But I might be wrong. I don't know.
But
yeah. Burn the bird at 8 a.m. on Thanksgiving morning. No excuses. No one's going to be cooking at 8 a.m. Or you at least have 55 minutes to leave and come back, right?
Yep.
And obstacle course style workouts.
It's always fun.
It was a blast last year.
It was a challenge.
Yeah, it's not like somebody asked me, like, am I going to die? I'm like, no, I mean, someday, but...
Hopefully not.
But not from this obstacle course. Like, you'll be fine. But at the same time, it's still probably challenging. I know that last year, the walk up the hill, like, that doesn't seem like a hill, But when you walk up it 3 times, apparently it becomes a hill.
I bet.
But yeah, very little running. The only running that you're going to do is the few yards in between the obstacles, which is like 15 yards at most. Tops 15 yards of running. Is that about right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you weren't here.
I'll just say it.
What do you know?
Yeah.
All right. So, burn the bird. Anything else?
Live like a girl.
Lift like a girl. Anything else?
Obscurity.
Do I end it that often?
No. Yeah, and that's good. Look for Scout's Honor, available on Amazon next month. And obscurity is our biggest enemy here at Grit Jam.
Obscurity about your book, though, is your biggest enemy.
Yeah,
It's just people not reading it. Only 10% of the books that get sold even get read, and then so if you want 100 people to read your book, then 1,000 people need to buy it, and then only maybe 10% of the people that know about it are going to buy it. So then you need 10,000 people to buy it or to hear about it, and gotta get it out there. So it's called Scout's Honor.
Yep.
It's got a very interesting mentor in the book.
Yep.
I'm liking this little old lady.
She's cool.
Funny.
She's
Yeah.
fun.
Anyway, so Scout's Honor, and when does it drop?
In December.
In December.
In December. It depends on the cover.
We'll
The
post it.
cover and everything. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, thanks for being here, guys. Please share, click share button, send this out to everybody. Yeah, like, comment, share.
Like.
Yeah, if you
I'm
hit
happy.
like a bunch of times, we
Because I
see your
wanna see
face
it.
go
Yeah.
across the screen. It's actually pretty fun. Is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? Is somebody gonna like it? Is someone gonna like it?
Darn.
Actually, we have to wait 45 seconds, I think,
Oh.
anyway, for them to like it. And then pretty soon, like, and then you'll just see this cloud of likes coming across the screen. Anytime now. Anytime now.
Oh, you really? Oh.
Anytime now. No, I'm kidding. Thanks for being here, guys. Really appreciate it. Joanne is awesome. She's strong. She didn't start out that way, and she's worked really hard to get to where she is, and it's been awesome getting to know her. I'm really glad you're here. The real Wonder Woman. All right, time to go get in your invisible plane. All right, thanks, guys. See you.